You're now listening to another episode of Renegade Podcast. I'm going to interview the one and only Liv Duel, aka sk4di. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but man, I'm very excited. She's a synth artist. She is a photographer. She does a lot of things. She's very creative. We interact on Instagram quite a bit. I came across her music on SoundCloud. So yeah, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing, man?
Okay. You hear me? Okay.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. This is the first time I'm hearing your voice, so this is a little. Obviously, you're from Bulgaria, so obviously I kind of expected a little bit of an accent, and then, bro, I'm very excited.
I'm actually from Hungary.
You're from Hungary. Sorry about that.
Not very far away, but yeah.
All right, bro. How you doing?
I'm great. Just a little bit tired, and I'm abroad for the concert that I had yesterday. It was great.
Yeah. So about the concert. I was how did that happen? Because I know you just dropped your record, a couple days ago, but like, how did it happen? Did somebody just came up to you and say, "Hey, this venue is open for you"? Like, how did it all sort of work out?
Well, I have like a main career that is I'm a classical pianist.
Okay.
That is like completely unrelated to
Alright.
my production, so
Alright.
I get invitations.
Oh wow, that's really cool. How many people were there?
Actually, there were 100 places and 140 people registered.
Wow, that's cool.
It was like a Hungarian Culture Institute in Brussels.
Wow, that's super. That's super cool. That's super cool. Like, did they give you like a
Thank you.
Did they give you like a standing ovation afterwards after you were finished your piece?
I mean, it was pretty successful. Yeah.
Right.
I had to give an encore.
Oh wow, that's super. That's cool. That's cool. So it's funny because this funny thing. I came across your music on SoundCloud. This is such a funny story. So, like, I don't use SoundCloud as much as I used to. Then I don't know, for some reason I just let me try to find some like Tron Legacy stuff on SoundCloud because there isn't that many on that platform. And I start scrolling. And that point where you start scrolling so much on something that the original search that you were there for it's not there, and now it's giving you like recommendations. And I came across your music, and I'm like, okay, let me check this out. I listened to it, and I'm like, oh wow. And I with your profile, and I saw your Instagram link, and then next thing you know, like now we're here. So yeah.
Nice. Oh my god, I never thought I would actually be like the algorithm. I usually don't have much faith in it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's very lucky.
Yeah, I know. So, how does your here's the thing. I'm from Canada, right? So again, the cultural differences from like Canada and Hungary, I can't even imagine, right? I always want to go to Hungary. It felt like it seems like a pretty cool place to go to. But like growing up there and stuff, how does that sort of influence the work that you do on the production side, or even the sort of being the classical pianist side of you?
So classical music is really loved here. That's something that we cherish very much. But when it comes to my style, it's more similar to like movie soundtracks and film production, and that's kind of a more obscure style.
Yeah,
I don't have any Hungarian inspirations. This is something I do completely unrelated, and I do have Hungarian fans, and of course many of us love this genre. It's mainly the youngsters, because our country has like an overwhelming majority of older generations.
Okay.
They're like pretty conservative.
Yeah. That's what I hear. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm trying to explore a style that's like away from the classical genre, because I love a lot of genres of music.
Okay.
I love classical and many other stuff as well.
So you mentioned you like a lot of sort of genres of music, right? But what's your favorite genre to listen to in general?
Well, primarily I think I would name goth music, because I'm a goth, so it's like really close to my heart.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. That's
also like an umbrella term.
Okay. Do you listen to hip hop?
Sorry, what did you say?
Huh? Do you listen to hip hop?
Sorry, what did you say? Oh yeah. Well, hip hop is one of the genres I'm not very familiar with. Also, rap is something I'm a bit picky with.
Okay.
But I recognize talent in every genre. Okay. So it just takes me to find an artist I really enjoy listening to, and
yes,
just a few artists is fine for me.
You know, it's interesting about like art is that like there's just one out. The thing with me is like my love for hip hop, really, just music in general. Like it started back in the day, you know, when Daft Punk dropped that Tron Legacy soundtrack. You know what I'm talking about, and
yeah,
it just changed. Like it changed my brain chemistry, bro. It was crazy because like that movie was so amazing, and now they're dropping the Tron Ares in October. I'm so gonna be watching that like multiple times indeed there. And just the thing about art, it sort of affects people differently, and just different types of art in general too. So like, you know, are you into like movies and TV shows and that type of stuff?
Yeah, it's just one thing about what you said previously. This is why I don't understand when people hate on a specific genre, when like it can mean so much to another person, like literally life changing. I think it's so beautiful. Even though I don't know the hip hop genre much, I still appreciate this really much.
Yeah, great answer.
What you said.
This might be a little bit off topic. I did not expect your talking voice to be as deep as it is. I don't know why, because I know you're like 19 or 20 or whatever. I don't know why I expected a higher pitched voice.
Yeah, 19. Yeah, I mean, I do sing in a few of my tracks, but it's like there are deep parts, but I actually prefer this more atmospheric style of singing.
Yeah.
In like higher pitch than how I talk, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope it's not a. I hope it's not in a negative way.
It's not negative. It's just, you know, people talk in different tones of voice. I mean, I remember I was watching an interview by this producer named Dark Child. He was like this iconic R&B producer like in the 90s and the 2000s. And he talked about like working with Michael Jackson. He said like Michael Jackson has like, when he can switch his voice, talking voice like on a whim. He could talk very like high pitch, and then he talked very low pitch because his voice is low. And his actual voice is actually low. Like there's actual footage. It's actually crazy to see because I'm look, granted,
and he had to like force himself to talk in a higher pitch sometimes.
Yeah,
I think I heard that.
Yeah, I mean that to me is like, again, Prince, the same thing, right? He talks in a higher pitched voice in his music. When you see him talk, he has this very like hypnotic way of talking. So like, okay, it's just one of those things, right? You know, you get across your message however way you want to get across to your audience, you know. So yeah,
it's also a testament to, I guess, a big vocal range. I mean, I wouldn't say that about myself, but yeah, I just sing higher than how I talk. That's that.
So it's interesting because, like, you know, like, did you learn when did you start learning how to speak in English? Because I don't think English is like a big thing in Hungary. I'm assuming I might be wrong about that, but
yeah, it's correct that most generations are not that great when it comes to English, but the young generations are generally pretty good at it, I think, because it's compulsory to learn as a second language.
Wow.
So I imagine that most people in my generation can do it very, very well. But yeah, the older people, we have a really funny, I'm not going into politics, but our prime minister has a really funny accent.
Yeah, I can see that. It's interesting because like there's some stories of people of like watching like movies or TV shows how to learn, like, and that's their way of learning English. Did you use that, or was that something like was sort of curriculum based?
Yeah, it's very effective. I used to consume a lot of English media, but it was a lot easier when I was like really little, because that's when I learned English. But now, as I was learning German, my second foreign language, I also tried to watch TV shows in German with subtitles and stuff. But I feel like I'm already too old for it, because my brain just wasn't like picking it up as easily as it did back then. So I feel like I'm already too old for this.
That's funny. What was the moment you realized, like, man, like, I'm actually good at this music stuff. I can play the piano. I can produce my own stuff. Like, what was the moment you realized that you could this could actually be something of a career for yourself?
Well, so I've been doing this piano thing ever since the age of 5. So it's everything I've ever known, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, the production it came from this as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I have an electric piano at home. It was my instrument before I got an actual grand piano, because in higher stages, like competitive musicianship, you just cannot use an electric piano because it's so different than an actual one. And in the COVID pandemic, I was like, I wanted to try actual music production.
Yeah.
And I just like sat down and started like exploring it, and just like I was like full of wonder about as I discovered like how many different sounds I could make.
Yeah.
It was not like my current sound of music at all.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, really, you know what I'm talking about. It's really like sci-fi game soundtrack kind of vibe. You know, it was not depressing at all.
Yeah.
So I think I was like really committed to it. For like 2 years straight, I was like not stopping at all. But then just some personal stuff came, and I started like falling off. Getting less and less streams, and like also the quantity decreased.
Yeah.
But then I just like started finding my actual voice, and people seem to like that I took like a darker turn, like a more introspective turn than just sounding like a sci-fi soundtrack. So ever since then, I have like a really small but loyal and nice audience, and I don't think I will ever stop.
Damn, that's a great answer. Like, I think at some point, right, you know, like, we're sort of at this stage where it feels like, you know, in the age of streaming and TikTok and what have you, like, it feels like anybody can blow up. But the thing is, when you blow up, can you sustain it? Like, if you ever, like, you know, get to that point where you're blowing up and you're on the radio and what have you, like, will your approach to your music change, or will it stay the same regardless?
Oh my god, this is a really difficult question, because I know a lot of people online who, like, channels who blew up and just like started milking that kind of music for years, like as long as they could. I mean, I get it, because obviously you want to keep up that like you keep riding that wave, I guess. Yeah. And it's great when it's actually good music. Yeah. but I'm a fan of having variety, and like in my album, I also tried a lot of unconventional stuff, not just stuff that sounds like Hans Zimmer and would like go well with like a mainstream soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like I was experimenting a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like the moment I lose this kind of like approach to music, it will just be like any other artist, any other big artist. So I really want to keep this distinctive sound, even if it's like less popular. I feel like there are people who appreciate this and who will appreciate this, because there's a lot of cases with musicians that when they became like really popular, there are always fans that are like, and it's usually like actually the majority, they're like, oh my god, his earlier stuff was so good. Why did he change?
So
that's
the conundrum.
I want to stay loyal to the. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, but like that's the conundrum of making art. Like, you know, you could be at one phase of your life where like everything is just clicking, and the next thing you know, you blow up or what have you. You're more known now. You can't walk outside without paparazzi just swarming you, and it's like now you're dealing with a whole different type of beast, right? So you have to go inward, and that type of music may not be as, like, I don't know, appealing or what have you, and it's like you're sort of fighting a battle within yourself. You're fighting a battle with your fan base. You know, I seen it all the time, right? And it's like, I think, to me, it's like at some point we just gotta let the artist cook, right? Like, evading their private space is not gonna get their old music back. I keep saying this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty far from that kind of fame for now, but I see this a lot with other artists, and it's really terrible when fans pressure someone to make a certain type of music. Like, I think it's a very dangerous and it's a fine line to walk, because you don't want to upset your audience, and you don't want to, like, I don't know, not meet their demands, but like you want to do stuff that they like, obviously. But when there are some toxic fan bases that like demand stuff, and I don't want to have that. Like the moment I hit like a number of like a number of listeners that like my fan base starts to change into that kind of people, then I may be like, I'm not doing that. I might as well just lose that audience. I don't care.
Yeah, that's the balance, right? Like, I always say, like, you know, you never really know what's going on in someone's head. And I always say that, like, for me, like, the thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let people control the conversation, right? Like, way too many times I see interviews or podcasts that the podcast loves talking, and they love the sound of their own voice, and it's like you hear all their perspective. It's like, bro, I'm here for the guest. I'm not here for you, type of thing. So that's what I'm trying to prevent.
Yeah, honestly, you are really amazing at making this balance already. Like, it's been like, I don't know how long, like 10 minutes we've been talking. Like, I think it's really, really important. Like, I'm really afraid of talking too much, but I'm also afraid of like not being able to talk, like getting interrupted all the time. I think you're really good at easing this kind of anxiety. Yeah.
That's a really great answer. You mentioned that you started playing piano when we were very, very young. Did you like grow up like rich or middle class, and how did that affect your experiences around people and stuff?
Ooh, this is a very complicated question, and I may be sharing some industry secrets here. But so when it comes to becoming a famous classical pianist, there's a lot of things at play there, and background is one of them. I'm not meaning to upset anyone here, and I'm not saying names, but there are many pianists who just have rich parents, and
Yeah.
like the name of their parents is like already known.
Yeah.
And they get into the university easily and like already can build a great name for themselves. And another important thing is like connections with teachers and like getting scholarships and like sponsorships. There's like a really major thing here in Hungary. It's called like Virtuosos talent show. It's like a TV talent show, and people who go there like receive this kind of like star treatment. If they win or like get a prize. And I won this competition 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But I really hated the show aspect of it.
Yeah.
It was just like so plastic. It wasn't like, it didn't really care about real art, you know, it just cared about personality. And unfortunately, I feel like in the classical music world, like in the more mainstream classical music world, because obviously we have like really renowned pianists, like those big names that are actually good and they actually play well. Yeah. But we have this kind of like, that people buy tickets because they're like, oh my god, their personality, and wow, this huge show that they're putting on. I really hate that. Yeah. So yeah, so I come from a pretty average family, and I've been working towards my fame entirely by myself and my family. Yeah. And honestly, winning that show didn't really give me any artistic develment, but it did open a lot of possibilities, because I've been getting concert invitations from there ever since. So I think it's a wise decision to engage with stuff like this, but limit it. So like, don't make it your entire personality and entire life, because I know, I'm not saying names, but I know people who still ride on that wave because they got known from that show, and it's like still their entire personality. Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, it's funny because what you're describing sounds exactly what happens here in North America. And really specifically to like, there's this talent. Have you heard of America's Got Talent?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's exactly like that, where like the best sort of shows or performances are usually not the winners. Now there are some exceptions, like I don't know, I think it was 2016. I think it was like Grace Vanderwall. Shout out to her. She won, and now she's blowing up right now. She was like in she was in the Coppola film Megalopolis. I don't know if you watched that or whatever, but yeah, she was in that film. But usually like they're not like the best people winning it. It's usually optics and, you know, the audience, and you know how audiences are. They can get really manipulated, so they'll be in love with the story rather than the actual like substance of the product. You see this all the time, right? So I mean, it's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason I won was because the show was already falling off at that point, and it's been going downhill ever since. Yeah. And I was in the final, I was against a girl who was like here for like the 5th time, and I think everyone was tired of her. So it was just a combination of luck and I guess preparation.
That's really, really interesting. One of the other things, this is maybe a little bit more miscellaneous, but one of the things I noticed is I go on your Instagram, and one thing that struck me was you look exactly like Billie Eilish. I know you get this all the time, but like you look exactly like, I'm like, whoa. Like you must get that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with that?
It must be the dead eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this moody expression, but yeah, I do get that a lot. And I mean, I'm not offended at all. Like, it's really great to be compared to a famous person, I guess. Yeah. I did used to listen to her music back then. These days I don't really listen to pop music that much, but yeah, I feel like it's this kind of expression, or I don't know, just like not smiling. I receive like a lot of harsh comments from my parents for like looking like I'm dead and stuff like that. I think it's really I love having this kind of like distinctive look. Because I think it's really I love mystery, you know. I love darkness. And I think it's so much more exciting than just like grinning every post, every photo I post. I think when I actually smile or actually post a picture when I'm smiling, then it will be a lot more special.
Wow, great answer. I want to say, like, you look gorgeous, by the way. So, like, that was just something that I noticed right away. But another thing is,
thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Another thing I want to ask you is like, is that you go, like, it seems like you go to this university, right? In the culture, the sort of college and sort of post-secondary culture in my country, I would assume it's very, very different from yours in Hungary. Like, what is the difference from going the transition from public school to, like, again, high school, then post-secondary, or is there no difference, type of thing?
Well, I don't know that much about how it goes in the Americas, but I do know that we have no college here. So it's like we have this high school that lasts preschool and high school that lasts like until the age of 18, 19. And then you have this huge exam that's like to close off the entire your entire education. And the points you get from that determine where you can apply, to which university you can apply. At least this is the route you take when you want a diploma, a degree. Of course, there's the other route with people who want to get like more
interesting.
other stuff, so not a degree. So I think it's pretty well established, except that from my degree at the music university, I think there's a lot of difference in quality, because of course the education is great and everything, but my university is the biggest music university in Hungary.
Wow.
But, I feel like the quality has been a little bit falling off, because there are 12 pianists right now in my class, and that's crazy, because that means that if every year like 12 pianists are graduating, then that's like hundreds of pianists. And the market is not big, so to become well known, even in a small country like this, because it's like absolutely nowhere near Canada or the US, so we are very small. But even here, like, the places are limited. And the degree you get from here doesn't really bring you anything, because there's no, I don't know if it's different with other music institutes over the world, but here you get no like support after you graduated.
Damn.
So you just like gotta deal with it, and like it depends on how big of a name you made for yourself during your like formative years. Like, to me, it's my current years. It's 17, 22, but like also like I still have time until like 30 to win big competitions and prizes and get concert invitations. So that it's entirely up to me to do that.
Wow, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So it's interesting you said all that, because there's been so many stories of, like, you know, artists that make it big or they blow up and they have to leave their country because, again, they can't support them. They know how to infrastructure. Do you think that you might have to do that if you do get to a certain point? You might have to go to America or the UK or what have you?
Well, I noticed that I've primarily been talking about my piano career, but when it comes to what I do as sk4di, then I mean, if I can even get my first scoring, like to actually score for a movie, and then actually get like career and options from there. I mean, it's still a dream at this point to reach that kind of popularity, but oh my god, I mean, I think I'll be living in Germany anyway because of my classical career, because I learned German. I made a language exam, and I've been looking at like opportunities to teach in Germany, so I may be moving there, and it's actually like there would be a lot more possibilities there for my other career as well, so maybe a really great opportunity, and I could finally pursue both of these careers like almost as one, because at the moment I pursue this career as sk4di in complete secret. Like when it comes to my parents, they don't support me. I do it in secret. The only support I get is online. So I really look forward to changing that.
Yeah. Wow. That's that is interesting for sure. That's very, very interesting for sure. It seems like there's a lot of like politics and bureaucracy in Hungarian music institutions, but if I'm gonna because here's the thing, the funniest thing you mentioned, you're gonna potentially move to Germany to advance your career. I used to live in Germany, actually. It was for like a year. My dad got a job over there as like a finance person. And my family lived in Berlin. And that would be the place to go to. Like, I would say go to Berlin. Actually, there's one neighborhood I think you would actually love. I think it's called Alexanderplatz. There's a lot of there's a lot of music, man, down there. There's a lot of people playing music. I swear I'll tell you the story. So, I'll never forget this story. So, I don't know how my parents allowed me to do this, but when my dad was off at work, and my brother was watching because at that time, I had like a little sister. Her name's Mariam. So, so I told my mom, like, hey, I want to go for a walk. And she said, yeah, but whatever. So I go for a walk. And the funniest thing is, like, the main train station of Berlin is literally like a 25-minute walk. I walk straight. It's already getting dark outside. I listen to some music, and then my headphones died, and oh, shit. So, so I said, okay. And then I walked to the train station, and I walked all the way to the main, because the way it works is that there's an underground station, and there's an above station type of thing, right? So it's above ground, right? And I walked up. And here's the thing: I was never going to go on any of those buses. I didn't have no money, no nothing. I didn't even know where the buses were even going. And I saw somebody like playing, like they were like playing the shit out of this piano in the main floor, and that always struck me. And I always remember that, you know. And there's another moment where there's a main mall in Berlin. And somebody was playing this very cool piece of music, and it was very, very whimsical. It was very like Wizard of Oz, like, it was, this is super cool. And then I went to Dresden. That's another place I would actually recommend you, because there's a lot of like classical sort of architecture you can sort of draw inspiration from, and also it literally walking through the castle, walking through like the streets, because you have these sort of areas where like these sort of medieval castles. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Still is. And it's just, this music's playing, and somebody's like playing like the piano, and this other person playing this flute, and it's the coolest shit ever. And it's like, it really teaches me, man, music really touches people in different ways. And I always say that the environment you're playing in also is part of the immersion for the person, in my humble opinion.
Oh my god, that's so real. I mean, I was in Dresden as well, but about this, one of my tracks called Benevolence Cries. It starts with a segment from a person who was playing on the street in Vienna, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it was like a Turkish instrument.
Yeah.
It was like so haunting in such a nice way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these cities with these really rich musical cultures, and it's not of course it's not only the classical culture. It's like really important to recognize what's going on the streets and also underground. It's so much more than what can be seen in the mainstream or on the surface. Like even a random street artist can inspire so much. But yeah, you said most of it really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because this artist I came across, and it's so funny because when I first started listening to your music, this other artist came to mind. I don't know if you know them or not, but they're called Drab City. They're based in like Berlin, and then then for some reason they moved to Marseille for some reason. I don't know why, but the main singer has this sort of like, she sort of sounds like Lana Del Rey kind of thing, and she sort of looks like, you know, Millie Bobby Brown, and I love Millie Bobby Brown, so that kind of helped. And yeah, it had that sort of feeling of, again, nostalgia, melancholy, darkness, but there's a like sort of vintage type of way. It's like a 70s, 80s, 60s type of like sort of exotic European, Eastern European, Middle Eastern, because they do use quite a few Middle Eastern type of instruments in their music, and that's how, like, when I got into that band, like, it was just, again, it was life changing. I listened to the whole first record. It was incredible, and I think honestly, like, low key, like, you should get into them as well, because I think you would learn a lot about sequencing and sort of the sort of grand sort of cinematic feel of their music, neo-noir feel of their music, in my humble opinion.
Oh, could you tell me their name again? Because I don't know them, but
Drab
what
City.
you said, I would really like to check them out.
Drab City.
Again, please.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Drab.
I mean, I could ask.
All right. Drab City. You only dropped one album, like, but it's really good.
Oh, yeah. I think I know. I think I found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you're goth at heart. How did you get into that sort of subculture, and why?
Well, I've always been drawn to more darker stuff, but I was never like. I mean, I had my cringe phase. I wouldn't say it was like emo, but like, yeah, I had this like this 13-year-old phase.
Yeah.
But behind that, there were genuine struggles with my family, and I was like found comfort in darker stuff. But like I didn't feel like really like proud of it, or I wasn't being edgy. It was just like I just found music that really spoke to me.
Yeah.
And like at first I was like a fan of Grimes, like a really big fan.
Yeah, sure.
But then I let it go because of how problematic she became.
Yes.
And, yeah, through her I discovered like these genres like like witch house and like these more like electronic goth genres. Like her music is not goth, but like.
I was interrupted. You listen to Witch House? Oh wow, that's super cool. I
do. I do a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Her music is like some of her earlier stuff is really similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
Here's my take on Witch House.
Then I discovered a lot of more.
Wow.
Sorry.
Here's my take on Witch House. It's so funny. I came across the genre in 2020 again. Before I went to Germany, I came across the genre. And one thing struck by me is aesthetically. To me, it's the coolest aesthetic in all the music. Sure, is it tacky? Is it cheesy? Yes, it is. But that's what makes it super cool. because you can like do anything with that aesthetic. I'm gonna be called. You might call me crazy for saying this, but man, like I was at Humber Polytechnic. I was there for radio broadcasting. I just graduated. It was a couple weeks ago, and usually the way that our schedules are set up here in Canada, where like usually there'll be classes and there's time between classes. So usually it's an hour, but sometimes it's 2 or 3 hours. And on Tuesday it's almost 3 hours, right? I would literally go into the computer lab. There's a bunch of like these computer spots in the college, and I would literally go on Pinterest, search up witch house, and I'll be listening to like the craziest shit to it. It's like think of like Yeezus Kanye. Think of like The Weeknd or Flume or Daft Punk. Like and it fits. It's sort of it kind of like, and also man, I love. Have you heard of Clams Casino?
Sorry.
Have you heard of Clams Casino?
No, not yet.
You have to listen to him. He's the godfather of Witch House, man. He's the go at that. Like he is incredible. He's produced a lot of hip hop stuff with like A$AP Rocky, Vince Staples, Lil B. Like he was part of that cloud rap generation. So he kind of birthed like 2 genres in music. It's super cool, bro. But like that's super cool, man. Like what's your favorite Witch House artist that you listen to this day?
I mean, I have like a huge playlist of like several people, but I think if I had to name a few, there's I don't like they're so difficult to pronounce, but like Lonon, I think.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah.
And there's also this Iranian artist I discovered a while ago.
Wow.
His name is Psycho. It's
wow.
like really this so dreamy, but and also so dark, and just like makes you picture stuff immediately, like, and you feel like you're in an edit, you know?
Yeah, I definitely that's super cool. That is super cool. You don't listen to Crystal Castles?
Oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
I think their music is a little bit too minimalistic for my taste, but I obviously know a few of their songs because they're really famous.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. So, wow. So that is interesting. Do you like, again, like sort of, you mentioned that, you know, your family was going through some things sort of when you were younger. Have you ever dealt with like mental health problems, and if you do, how do you like sort of deal with that? How you combat that on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I deal with a lot of mental problems, and the easiest answer for that is that music is the sole thing that's keeping me going. Like, classical music is also like a double-edged sword for me, because it has caused me so much suffering, because it's so difficult to get by in this career, and to deal with failures when you don't win a competition, I just there's a lot of betrayal as well from people who you think they support you, but then bail on you because it's like there's a lot of favoritism, unfortunately. So and my parents also are kind of like, they provide me all the material stuff I need, but they're emotionally so unavailable, and they never really listen to how I feel, or when I tell them how I feel, they just like turn it against me. And when I showed them like my first stuff I produced, and I was like so excited to show them, because oh my god, look what I made. It sounds like Hans Zimmer. And oh my god, it's so cool that you can do this. And I just like showed them, and my dad was like, what the hell are you trying to do with this cheap I'm sorry, I won't say a bad word, but like this cheap Hans Zimmer copy, and like, why are you wasting your time on this? You should be like doing something for your career instead of like wasting your time. And from then I just like decided not to show them anything more of what I do.
Wow.
Because I was like so afraid of them not letting me do it. So ever since then, I just like do it in complete secret.
Wow.
And when I feel like really, really depressed, I just like put it into the music, and I think it's really funny how there was a time in my earlier years when I was just starting to look into myself and like recognize, like before that I was like living in like a little bubble, this fantasy bubble, and just like daydreaming and like not caring about a future, or my trauma, and like how everything affects me. But then it started like all coming down, and like I started actually realizing. And there was a time when I was still like afraid that my music sounds too nightmarish, like too dark. And now it's like the most normal thing ever.
Yeah. Wow, that's a handful. The first thing I'll say is that the first thing I'll say to that is, wow. Oh, how can I say this? I always say like, take it to me, like what I do is that if I'm feeling down or sad or whatever, I always say like take this day by day, step by step, right? Always put one foot in front of the other. I know that might sound very, very simple, but that's what helped me sort of kind of stay sane. And also, I always say this, I always try to go outside, always try to interact with people, always trying to, it might not work at first, but when you sort of start growing a group of people that you can sort of kind of talk to and vent, and they understand, and also they will have to also gonna understand where you're coming from. It helps a lot. And also another thing I'll say is, bro, here's the thing, for my sake, if you're feeling whatever, bro, just hit me up, man. I'll try to help. I can't. I can't go over to Hungary and console with you. I can't do that. I have no money, but like, I'll always try to help people out, so like it's again, just take it day by day, man. I get it. This life is hard. It's harsh. It's sometimes can be really, really cruel, but my thing is just always, to me, like always stay positive. Like but granted, it is difficult to stay positive in a world that's trying to like tear you down, but like always just keep smiling. It's that it may sound very simple, but like it helps me out at least.
That's just such a great way to go about it. And I admit sometimes I stray from this kind of mindset, because a lot of people who say this don't like contradict themselves with other stuff they do, and like those people who put like the Bible quotes in their bios and just like try to act like they're such saints, like being positive and stuff. Like then they go around and hate on people for random reasons, just to hate. Yeah. My dad is also like this. He's not religious, but like, he just oh my god, he calls me out constantly for like looking dead, and like what kind of apocalypse are you waiting for? And I'm like, dude, I'm not the one who like rants about the issues in the world all the time, and like, dude, how can you live like that? Just like constantly having all of that on your mind and hating. Yeah. Just being filled with hate all the time. Yeah. And then he says he's not he doesn't have issues. So yeah, I think the most important thing is to just like not feel so much hate. Yeah. Just, even if like everything seems to be like working against you, I think it's so hypocritical, because this is one of the main teachings of like almost every religion, and people just seem to go against like sorry, I choked on my own spit there. I'm not crying, I just like talk too much. Yeah. It's look, man, I always say like, we have an issue with, I think people have an issue of allowing other people to show their emotions, because for some reason it's a big problem here as well in Canada and America, where like there's like this sort of masculinity craze going on, and all these sort of snake oil salesmen. I'm not gonna name names, but you know what I'm talking about, where like you see these channels talking about, oh, you have to go to the gym and you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, that's not gonna fix
what's going on in my head, you know? Because we hear stories of people, like, there's this movie that's coming out with, it's A24 movie. I don't know if you watch A24, but, The Rock and Emily Blunt, they're, like, in this sort of wrestling movie, and it talks a lot about mental health, about how, you know, somebody could look so powerful, but on the inside they're so fragile, right? They're walking on eggshells, you know? One nudge there and the whole thing just breaks, and it's heartbreaking, and it's very interesting to just see, because, like, I always tell people, like, there's nothing wrong with crying, like, at all. Like, I used to cry a lot when I was younger. I used to cry when my mom was not there at the exact moment I thought she would be there. I used to cry when I not get my McDonald's fries. Sure, this might seem a little petty, but, like, there's times where, like, I felt like I was in a void, and I had to sort of give myself a chance to realize, okay, how did I get there, and how do I get out? Right? I always say, like, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, like, at all. Like, this whole mentality of, like, you have to do it yourself is such bullshit. Like, I always say this to people, like, you control what you can control. That's it. Right? That's all I gotta say. Like, control what you can control. You know, don't worry about stuff that you can't control. You can't control it there's a reason you can't control it. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think this was, like, a lot more difficult for, like, older generations. Like, they suppressed all that trauma they accumulated through their like abusive childhoods and, like, I don't know, the economy, stuff like that. And now they, like, gaslight themselves that they don't have any issues. And like, they just bury all of that so deep that it becomes like an impenetrable wall of, like, bitterness and hate, and, like, this defensive-ness, like, kind of like narcissism in a way, like, especially when it comes to my dad. He's, like, just, like, believes that everything he does is good. And I feel like it's so sad, because it's like gaslighting yourself that you're, like, perfect, because of course, because you got through everything all on your own, but you didn't realize how much it damaged you as a person.
That's the thing. I call, like, there's a word for that. I call it survivorship bias, where, like, and where, like, again, it's actually, that's not why, I don't know why, but there's this interesting story about, I think it was World War II. I think the Americans, they were, like, trying to bomb a place in Germany, where I think it was or somewhere in Berlin or Dresden or whatever, right? And the planes got hit. All the spots that you would think should have blown up the plane, but it didn't, right? And they tried to fix it, and all they did is strengthen the parts that got hit and not the parts that didn't get hit. So they sent out the same plane. That plane blows up. The guy gets captured, and they're like, okay, like, maybe we should have strengthened the parts that should have been strengthened, right? The parts that didn't get hit. And I always use that as an example of, like, you know, it's easy to hate than to appreciate. We're in a world, I always say this, we're always a species that our minds always go to the negative for whatever reason. Maybe it's biological, maybe it's ordained, I don't know. But, like, whatever reason, we can't just say, hey, man, you did a great job, that's it. Or, hey, man, you know what, you could have done better, that's it. Now, we have to make this whole fucking dissection. We have to say, man, this guy sucked this whole time, and the media didn't do this. People love blaming the media for everything. It's like, no. Sometimes maybe you need to just look within yourself and realize that, okay, I made a wrong judgment on something. Now, not to say that the media doesn't cover people. They do that all the time. That's their job, right? There's this sort of lack of fundamental understanding how the world works. And also, there's a lot of media illiteracy going on within certain things, right? Where it's like, man, you know what? This thing should get more hate. This thing should get more hate. It's just like, what? Like, how could someone live like that? Till you realize, okay, there's something missing. There's a hole that's missing. And they're filling it up with all the wrong things, and they're becoming more angrier and more exasperated, and it's just ugly to watch.
Yeah, exactly. It's so freaking funny to me actually that it's like the only thing that my parents bond over is just like having the common topics to hate on and like what they read in the media, like what they watch. And it's just like, like F these people. Yeah, F these people. These people as well. Oh my god, we hate them so freaking much. Like, and the media pushes this, like, just like you said it, like, it's like amplifies this tendency in people, and it's just so hard to know and like to deal with. That's the reason I don't really watch news. I get all my news from like Reddit or stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, the thing I would say is that I think that started when the 24 news cycle started. I think it was after 9/11 where they start talking about all the stuff that happened with that 24/7, 365 days a week. And then the Iraq War happened, then the War on Terror happened, and this whole freaking mess has been going on recently. It's just like I get the aspect of, okay, we need to make a profit, people got to be paid. I'm like, at some point, are you here to inform people, or are you here to get your paychecks up? Like, it's at some point you got to decide, right? And the news shouldn't be there just to pay people. It should be there to inform people and to show people a different perspective on something that they themselves haven't thought of. But again, it's not rocket science.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is such a complicated topic. Didn't realize how deep we got into.
Yeah.
Got into it, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's like it would be. It's a really complicated, but wise decision to like really carefully pick your news sources.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to know each side. Not just like one side, and not just be like that with the other side. That oh my god, they always lie and they always like that's how my dad does it. Like I get informed with both sides, and try to deduct my own opinion from it.
Yeah.
That's why I usually say that I like don't have like a definitive standing. And of course, some people will be like, "Oh, you gotta have a standing, and you gotta decide." Yeah, it's been like that in Hungary for the longest time.
Yeah.
That many people just are okay with the system because there's really nothing else to choose because there haven't been good options for like decades, literal decades now.
Yeah.
So some people just settle for the comfort.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because here's the thing, like, are you living by yourself right now, or are you with someone? Like, what's the deal with that?
It's just really embarrassing, and I'm working towards independence, but as of now, I'm still living with my parents.
Okay.
And I'm going to start another university soon. So I'm going to be doing two universities at once.
Whoa.
To get like an actual degree that will like be competitive.
Yeah.
And to actually become independent.
Yeah.
In case I don't win like a big, like 20,000 euro competition.
That's a lot of money.
So, and I was pretty close like 3 times now.
Wow.
And I just gotta keep trying. Like I still have time, but yeah, it's really nice. It would be really nice to have another option.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, if you do have the money to go, I would say, I cannot believe this. I would recommend you moving to Canada, and more specifically like Mississauga, Brampton, Vaughan, because Toronto, like there's buses to Toronto everywhere, and the Toronto music scene is very, very competitive. But there is definitely a space for someone like you to come in and sort of change the game. So like you're always welcome to come. You know, if you ever have maybe I can show you around the place. You know how it is.
Well, it's definitely worth looking into because I've kind of been limited to Europe because I've always thought like, oh my god, like moving to another continent would be so expensive, and obviously that the US has been out of the picture for pretty long now.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can look into it because I haven't been outside Europe yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not really familiar with what the options are there.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just like set on this Germany plan, but would be nice to discover more options.
Okay. Wow. That's a very interesting answer, for sure. Do you get paid like when these sort of these venues invite you to do your thing? Like, do you get paid for that, or do you do that for free?
Oh, I mean, I've gone past the age where I do it for free. I still take on free invites, of course, when it's like something really fun and doesn't take up way too much of my time and doesn't require me to learn like a new piece aside of my program that I have to practice. Because, oh my god, I have to practice so much. Yeah. So many pieces that I can only take on invites that like fit with my program. Yeah. And yeah, I get paid for them because that's like my only source of income right now. Okay. And it's still not enough to become independent. So yeah, it's.
Is it like 500 euros?
Like, it cannot really be.
Is it like 500 euros a gig? Is it something like that, or is it something less than that?
Well, it ranges from like, oh my god, I cannot do the math because it's like in forints, but just try to do like a quick search. So 100 forints is like, right now it's like 250 euros, I think. So that's like the smallest. Wow. And it just goes up from there. Okay. It doesn't really have a big range yet because I'm not that famous, but in Hungary, yeah. And I do have international invitations here and there. Wow. But, there it's still like the fee that I get just covers the travel costs. Except when they reimburse that for me as well. Like, I'm gonna take part in 2 festivals this summer, and they're both gonna be like reimbursing everything. Wow. So that's like really great.
Is those festivals, are they in Hungary or are they in another country?
Sorry, what?
Are those festivals in Hungary specifically?
Oh, no, they're both gonna be abroad. Okay. One is gonna be in Germany, and the other one is gonna be in Spain.
Spain! Oh, wow! Lucky. Wow. Where is Spain? Is it like in Madrid? Is it in Barca? Is it in those areas?
It's in Santander, so it's like near Bilbao.
Wow. I heard that place is super, super nice. You would love it.
Yeah, it's like, I can like wave at you from there because it's like the Atlantic Ocean. Wow.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. Like, for sure. But man, I wish I had the money to go, because I would definitely go. Like, for sure. Like, I would like try to like find my way there and stuff. Maybe in the future, you know, if I ever had the money, I would love to do like a music festival, and just like you'll be like on top of my list, and I'll like do a whole introduction, and here she is, and I'll do all that just for you, you know. So
that's so nice.
I know.
Yeah, these festivals are really great, and I think this place, particularly in Spain, is like really nice because it's. I mean, are you a heat guy, or are you more like it's like 20, 30 degrees Celsius, or like do you like more extreme temperatures? I mean,
here's the thing, like, I can withstand heat if there's like a breeze. If there's like a cool breeze, I can withstand it all day. If there isn't, then there's a certain I could deal with it, but if it's like 4 or 5 hours, like, no way. Like, my face is, like, here's the thing, I have really bad, like, I have eczema, and heat, like, exacerbates that. So like yeah, but usually if it didn't happen, then yeah, I'm cool with it. Like I mean I don't let temperatures affect what I'm trying to do, you know. So
Nice. And I have really pale skin, so that's
yeah,
also really irritating.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so this place is going to be really cool because it's not going to be
yeah,
that hot. So it's
for
just
sure.
like this ocean climate.
Wow. So when you again, because I know you said like you usually do a lot of your sort of produced music in secret, but what type of like software do you use to do it? Because I'm assuming it must be some really good software because your music sounds really, really mixed really well, which is really surprising for like someone like you that again just started out, right? So
Yeah. So I use I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but it's like pronounced I think DAW, like
okay,
this production software, and I have like a keyboard for it, so electric piano,
yeah,
and I use like at first I didn't use plugins,
okay,
and I just like used the free instruments that were like given in the software, and it
yeah,
was like really limited. Even now, all the stuff I use is free,
yeah,
but I pay for my distributor. That's like the only cost.
yeah,
So, yeah, but oh my god, like when I discovered plugins, it was like just like a whole world opened up.
yeah,
Like I have a few plugins that I like really, really much, and they like have endless
yeah,
libraries of free stuff, and
yeah,
I do not use like instruments as they are. I mix and like tweak every instrument to
yeah,
fit my liking, and I put like a lot of effects on it. So it's like I don't want to be lazy with it and just like pick. Oh my god, this sounds cool. And just like putting it just like that. So I really want to make my own style,
yeah,
and it just goes like I pick like some kind of synth, like this kind of like dark brooding synth, and
yeah,
like put that and like play some melody over it.
yeah,
And then it's just like the rest comes like as like improvisation. It's like
yeah,
totally improvised. Like when I make like a melody, I don't like. It's very different from classical composition because
yeah,
there you have to plan out everything
yeah,
when you like make a score.
yeah,
But here it's like all improvising. It's really difficult. Maybe because I'm still very amateur, but like it's really difficult to tweak something like a rhythm or like
yeah,
at least maybe I don't know how to do it more efficiently. But it's like you have to like change it by hand and like re-record stuff, and my compositions get really like you heard it. It's like really complex. So
yeah,
and I admit I'm really bad at mixing, and I'm glad it sounds good, but I struggle a lot with the fact that my mixes don't really come out like they sound in the software,
yeah,
and it's really important to pay attention to
yeah,
equalizing the frequencies and like not letting the bass be way too overwhelming, and like all the instruments need to sound
yeah,
just like if you were putting together like an orchestra, and
yeah,
it's like really just another type of orchestral composition, to be
yeah,
honest. Like I don't trust it when people say like that artists who like use synths and like
yeah,
sound that they don't do work. Like that's bullshit. Like this is so much work.
yeah. It is. That's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm assuming you don't sample anything in your music. That's what I'm assuming, right?
I use audio segments like sometimes of like recordings. There's only been one instance in my album where I used like an excerpt of like a recording, but like it wasn't a sample. It was just literally just a part of that recording, like just like an uninterrupted segment, distorted, and yeah, it was in the track called Hok Eritis. It was like a religious chanting and like these instruments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I use stuff that sounds like I'm sampling, but I'm not really sampling. Like, sometimes there are like instruments that I do sometimes that they have like, this preset sound and how they end and how they start. When some part of it sounds really cool, I just like put that as like a repeating, monotone repeating sound. And I think it's really effective.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. That's cool for sure. So what was the moment you realized that you wanted to do this album you just dropped? Like, was it like a particular movie you watched or a soundtrack you listened to or an event in your life? What was it?
Well, it's a collection of tracks that have been really like sporadically made, like maybe like one a month, and when I put them together, finally, it's like the lineup was like constantly changing. Yeah. And only a few things hold them together, to be honest. But what's like the most, like the funniest part is that when I put them together and like actually released it and started listening to it, that's when I kind of like discovered like some sort of storyline or because the way I put them together was like mostly like instinctive. Yeah. Like I really wanted to do like this sense of storyline, but not actually thinking of one, like something more universal and so what's really decided is that the first track is like a prophecy. Yeah. It can be heard in the lyrics as well, but it's like kind of like foretelling what will take place later. Yeah. But then there are like no more lyrics, so you just like gotta imagine it all in your head. Yeah. Wow. And from the titles. Yeah. And like the titles are purposeful. Yeah. Obviously. And I really like the thought of like not having any like direct like program to my music, just like making you feel by itself. I do have like direct inspirations, of course, so if I had to name a few, obviously it would be listening to Hans Zimmer's like Interstellar soundtrack, and also Dunkirk soundtrack. It's really obvious where I get the inspiration from. Yeah. And recently I finished watching the Andor series, the Star Wars series.
Wow, that's cool.
My God.
That's cool.
It's my all-time favorite series now. I cannot even get into it, just how genius it is. And the music is written by Nicolas Britell. Yeah. I think he's mostly known for like Succession, I think. Yeah. But like, this music that he did was just incredible. Yeah. I know for the second season it was another guy who did most of the music. Yeah. And props to him as well, but yeah, this entire world of sound and also mixed with the message of the show. Yeah. I have a track on the album that's like, it's named Those Dreaded Words, and that was directly inspired by Andor. Wow. So I have all of these sporadic inspirations. Yeah. Another track, Quod Sumus, was inspired by Volker Bertelmann, who's a German composer. Wow. I don't know why it was so hard to pronounce that name, but and he made a soundtrack for All Quiet on the Western Front. Yes. That an anti-war movie, and it's one of the most striking and creative soundtracks I've ever heard, and just like not using instruments in a traditional sense. Yeah. Like, and that inspired me so much in this track, What's the Moose, because I learned how to like make like a Super Bowl timpani sound, like when you scrape the like the drumstick over the timpani. It's like making this really low, like this rumbling sound. It's like almost like when you're dragging something metallic around, I don't know. And it was also used in the soundtrack for Joker.
Wow.
The first Joker movie.
Yeah.
Also, another composer who did the soundtrack for Joker, Hildur Gusnadottir.
Yeah.
Was one of my other big inspirations. Just love how bleak and atmospheric and also really creative her music is. Wow. So it's like really all over the place when it comes to inspirations.
But it's cool.
The last thing I would like to say, just the last thing, is that the minuet in G is directly a classical inspiration. Yeah. It's a minuet by Georg Friedrich Handel. Yeah. Why is it so difficult to speak? I don't know. Anyways, so I just directly played that minuet. Yeah. And then sang over it, and then made like a series of variations. Yeah. So it's really all over the place. Wow, that's cool. See you break it all down like that. That's real artistry right there. Wow. Thanks. You're welcome. Wow. So it's interesting you mentioned that. You're singing, and one thing that really struck me by your voice has this very like sort of old school like timbre on your voice. Like it sounds a little like bit of like, again, a lot of like a bit of Lana Del Rey, a bit of Billie Eilish, a bit of Kurt Cobain, a bit of Sushi and the Banshees. I don't know if you listen to them or not. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, and I'm like, I was very struck, and I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, like, the one thing I would say for your next couple releases, I know you could keep doing your thing, and I bet that you're gonna blow up to the highest moon, hopefully. But I think you should start singing more, showcasing your voice, and maybe not just your voice, but when you sing, you maybe like sort of manipulate it and like high pitch it, then low pitch it, and then like do all sorts of crazy stuff. Because that's what like James. You heard James Blake? Sorry, who? James Blake. I don't know. You should listen to him. I'm getting a lot of recommendations. Yeah, I know. You should listen to him. That's a blueprint. That's like, I think someone like you would like do really well. I'm not saying you should like copy his music or anything, but like you should like take some of what he does and sort of taking what you're trying to do, and it will create something very, very beautiful, honestly. But yeah, I would love to see your voice be showcased more in the future. Like that's what. Have you heard of Sam Gilardi? Sorry, I never understand these names. All right, okay, fine, but yeah, so sorry. Yes, it's cool. But yeah, that's what I would say. In my opinion. That makes a lot of sense, because like my tracks that have singing in it actually seem to be more popular. Yeah, I feel like it's like more accessible than just like this huge like wall of sound, and like so my main struggle with this is that I have to record in specific locations that I have to do in secret, and I have to worry about other people hearing me. So I'm like still very amateur, and I also struggle a lot with writing lyrics. So that's something I admire a lot in like artists like hip hop or rap. That they just like, it just comes to them so naturally. Yeah. And I envy that so much. Yeah. Like when I write lyrics, it comes like really spontaneously. Yeah. And it's very, very rare. and I don't want to rip anything off. I just want to.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to sound authentic anymore, because I feel like everything genius has already been made, and I don't want to sound like cliche and like, I don't know, like overly, like, what am I even saying? Like, I cannot sound overly depressing because I already sound like that, but like, you know, I just want to, it's really difficult to find this balance of having good lyrics that like you can actually read out like a poem. Like, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
That your lyrics don't only sound good when read out, and not only when you sing them.
Yeah.
Like the poem I wrote for The World of Fire was initially a poem, and I improvised how to sing it, and it somehow worked. Yeah. And then there's another part in the minuet, like the lyrics there are obviously not in English, they're in Finnish. Yeah. And there, actually, I made it with the purpose of not being understandable. Yeah. Partly because it's not entirely grammatically correct, because I speak only a little bit of Finnish, and I wrote this poem, and I was like trying to go through it with like a translator to see if it's correct, and I had to change a lot of things because it wasn't correct, and I was like, no, you just stay like this, and it will be like an abstract poem. Like, and I sang it, and I was like, I think there's beauty in something that you listen to, and you don't even need to understand the words. You just need to hear the tone of my singing and the instrumentation, and you just feel it. And I think this is such a great message, actually, because it's so universal. Because I'm like singing a Finnish poem, and I'm Hungarian, and the minuet is German, so it's like so universal, I think. It is. Just very human.
It is very human, for sure. Are you into like reading books or comic books or anything like that?
Not as often as I would like to. Because when I get to bed, it's like really, really late, and otherwise I have to practice like 6 hours a day. Oh wow! And then administrative stuff, and then I just like watch videos when I have free time or make music. Yeah. So but I do have some very defining books that I've read that really inspired me. These days I don't read as much as I would need to. Yeah. And I'm not very familiar with comic books, unfortunately.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I always ask that question.
I usually prefer having like my own imagination as a way to picture what's going on. Yeah. But I appreciate the art of obviously the art of comic books. Like, it's a very distinctive style.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very interesting. Have you recently watched a movie in the theaters in Hungary, or no?
It was like some other kind of magic. Oh my god, when I still used to go to theaters, I watched all the Star Wars sequels in the movies, and I was still very young, so I didn't really see the issues with them. Yeah. I just really enjoyed them a lot. Yeah. It was so magical. So so they were the last movies I watched in the theater. Yeah. And ever since then I pirate all my stuff. And I miss the magic of this. It's something that came with being a kid, I guess. Just enjoy these really cool action movies. Yeah. It's so special. Yeah. These days I don't really, if I got the chance to see Interstellar in IMAX for the first time. Bro. I never saw it in the theater, but that would be so incredible. That's one of those movies where I would be like, oh my god, I need to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's Bro, I feel the same way with you too, bro. There's the Superman movies releasing on my birthday, so that's another. I'm gonna be watching that. F1, I'm gonna be watching that July 2nd. I'm gonna be watching the Fantastic Four movie. I don't know if you're gonna be watching that. But the movie that I'm anticipating a lot, maybe my most anticipated movie since the last sequel to that movie is Tron Ares. I'm so excited. You don't understand, like, just the fact that Tron 3 is even an actual thing is just insane to me. Because, man, back in the day, I was desperate for any type of information. I would go on Reddit, I would go on Tron, I'd be writing all these these theories about, hey, they can do this, they can do that. And now it's actually happening. So, yeah, I'm super excited for that. But, yeah, you should definitely wait. When you have time, bro, you should definitely go out and watch a movie, any type of movie. Like, I always say, like, you know, movies are a different type of audio visual spectacle that I think should be respected as such in a theater, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, of course. I think the best part is actually having someone to go with.
Yeah.
I didn't really do. My parents just took me just because, like, when I saw the Star Wars sequel, they just took me because it was fun.
Yeah.
Even when they didn't like it anymore, it was just like really, they just wanted us to feel good, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still, there are still movies coming out that, like, are really worth watching on a big screen, obviously.
Yeah.
Another movie I wish I could have seen like this was Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The newer Blade Runner. Obviously that, like, and I think the Dune movies as well.
Yeah, those movies are amazing. I watched those in IMAX with my brother, and bro, it's a transformative experience for sure.
Wow, that's so lucky.
Yeah, because in Canada, like, in our theater system is a lot more like simpler. Because it's usually like back in the day there were a bunch of theaters competing for like a top spot. It was like AMC and it was Cineplex, and now it's just Cineplex, and Cineplex bought out AMC, and there's a lot of Cineplex theaters in Canada, especially in GTA. Like, I live in Mississauga, Port Credit, and theater is not even that far. It's like a 10-minute drive, so it makes it very easy to go in and out. So.
Wow, nice. And I actually just searched up Tron because, of course, I heard of it, but never really saw it. And I really need like some good sci-fi again, dude.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's. I mean, Dune was good in the visual aspect, I guess, and in the music, but it couldn't really. I still need a couple of more watches to actually like be able to follow the plot. But yeah, this Tron looks really fun. But what especially sold me is that the soundtrack is composed by Nine Inch Nails.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that sold me. Okay, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, man, you should, man. You should for sure. Have you thought about like releasing your music on YouTube, like just dropping it on YouTube? Because like, I tried searching it.
You have a YouTube channel.
Huh?
You couldn't find it because it's just like sk4di, just like with the 4.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Oh, yeah.
I have like 22 subscribers, 24 actually. I just searched it up, and my album has actually been.
Yeah, you could just like after this interview, right? You could just send me a link, and I'll just subscribe to it for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it's still yet to be picked up by an algorithm, but yeah, it has been picked up with like by like a smaller one because like a World of Fire was like really popular. It got like really unrelated comments from people who got it recommended.
Wow.
And the album has been doing well as well, at least in my proportions. Like a few hundred views is big for me.
Yeah. So, for sure. That's cool, man. That's cool. The algorithm is it's its own beast. I mean, my brother runs he runs like a best shots video for movies. It's called like Cinematic Escapism. As like he almost has like 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me. But he said it to me like when he was editing his videos. He's like, man, like the algorithm's just its own beast, and I'm like, yeah, man, I feel you on that. So it's something you have to sort of navigate in a way.
Sorry, I just searched up the channel you mentioned. There's actually two. Is it the one that has like 700 subscribers?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love channels that like explore how beautiful movies are, because I feel like it's like not very that appreciated anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that for sure.
Very cool.
So your artist name, was that inspired by something, or was that a nickname? Like what sort of made you come to terms with that name to be sort of part of your sort of kind of artistic identity?
Well, it all started with my fascination with Viking culture, like Norse culture.
Yeah.
And so yeah, of course it's a name of a Viking goddess.
Yeah.
And I just like chose that name back then because it was cool.
Yeah.
And I just kept it and put that 4 into it because it was already taken.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like I'm a funk producer with that number inside. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I would change it if I could, but not sk4di itself. So only the formatting of it. So sk4di itself, I think. I mean, it would be really cool to actually like explore more of a cinematic Viking sound, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought of that. So maybe that's kind of like a hole in my artistic persona.
Yeah.
That it's like not directly like related to my name, but maybe it's like I could think of something that could like explain the connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a cool name, and it's just like something I'm really passionate about.
Wow.
It's just a name I use.
That's cool. This
actually gives me an idea. Like I could try to find plugins that I could actually learn to make stuff like that, because I enjoy listening to Viking music. I mean, a lot of it is like really not authentic, but I love it. I love when people create stuff like that, like this really like epic folk music. I love that.
Wow, that's cool. That's super cool. My recommendation would be like just I would stick with the name. Sure, it may not sound as like refined as other people, but that to me that's what makes it unique, right? So,
I mean, there are people there are artists who don't really have like a fitting name. I feel like the biggest example for it is 2vi. I think that's how you say it. Like that's really big. I think it's 2 people actually who make like this really epic trailer music. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's not that important to have like a name that like, and I didn't want to like sound cringe and make like a name like, I don't know, like Dark Fate or something like really, oh my god, the music sounds like this. This is how my music sounds like. So I don't know. I just didn't want to be cliche and like choose like a really, that kind of name. Yeah,
for sure. Obviously you're in Europe, you're in Hungary, and there's a big soccer culture there. The soccer, specifically in those nations, are like worship. That's like religion over there. Are you into soccer? Are you into sports at all?
Oh yeah, I watch plenty of soccer. Like there's one Hungarian team is maybe like the biggest Hungarian team. That's I watch only because they're like such a wild card. Like they either like perform absolutely like world class, or they just like make a fool of themselves.
Yeah.
They're called Ferencváros.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That is absolutely hilarious. Because sorry about that. But yeah, Ferencváros. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you a little story about them. I think Chelsea was playing them. I think the Europa League, and we almost lost that game. I remember watching that, and just the crowd was like, oh my gosh! It was almost spilling to the pitch. I'm like, what is this? But like, yeah, for sure. Hungarian people, they're very, very passionate people in soccer, for sure. That's super cool. Is that your favorite team?
It's not my favorite team actually, but I love to watch them because it's always entertaining, because it's always different. Like they don't have like a constant like level of performance. It's like always switching. So yeah. I'm the teams I'm most committed to are either in Premier League or the Bundesliga.
Oh wow! What's your favorite Premier League team?
I mean it's currently Liverpool, and
not. You're a Liverpool fan? That's cool. That's cool. I'm a Chelsea fan, but like But like you're a Liverpool fan. Wow. That's cool.
It's not only because there's a Hungarian player in there, because I actually enjoy to watch like the entire team, just like not only him. And I used to watch a lot of RB Leipzig, but
RB Leipzig, they're very interesting. They have some really good players, man.
But after they replaced a lot of players, I just kind of like fell out of it. Yeah. Like when they saw like Nkunku and like players like that, I was just like, why? So I switch a lot of favorites, Yeah. I just watch like a lot of matches. I mean, I like Chelsea, I like Man United, I like a lot of teams.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
Just I have a few teams I can mention, so that's it.
Wow, that's cool. Because usually when I ask this question, it's always like I'm the biggest sports fan ever, or I'm like I don't know what I don't even know what the sports teams are. That's super cool. Are you into other sports?
I mean, I watch a lot of stuff. I watch the Olympics. I watch all kinds of like these championships. I watch chess as well.
Yeah.
I also play chess. I'm not that good at it, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like swimming. I like mountain biking.
Wow.
I'm not really truly good at anything, but it's just fun. Yeah, wow. I watch Hungarians when they compete. They always broadcast it, and that's really cool to watch.
Wow, that's super cool. So I'm assuming like, are you into watching the NBA, the NFL, NHL, MLB, that type of stuff?
Well, that's unfortunately with I think it's the isolation from Europe, because they don't really broadcast it here.
Yeah.
Like, it's very difficult to watch here. So, and it wasn't part of my childhood for that reason.
Alright.
Because they didn't like broadcast it on the channel, so I'm not familiar with it.
Alright, so I'm gonna do a little, because this is a big opportunity. I'm gonna do a little rundown on some teams you should follow.
Nice.
Yeah, you should a little rundown. Alright, so I never do this with people, but NBA. So there's a team in Canada, I think you know what they are. The Toronto Raptors. They're a perfect international team to follow. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of international players. I think there was a Hungarian player or something like that played back in the day.
Wow.
I forgot his name, but
from Hungarian NBA players, like I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah. The Raptors would be the team to follow. But if you want like a championship ready team, I would say follow OKC. There are a lot of international players there. There's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's like the MVP of the league. They just won the championship. You want something that's like fast paced. I would say like follow like, I don't know, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. Very fun team to watch. They used to be a dynasty. They're still really good, but not as strong as before. you want a wild card team, a team that you just don't know what you're gonna get, I would say follow the Wizards. Because every season it's like, okay, are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? They're very up and down. And they have some very fun players. You know, there's a lot of international players. There's Alex Sarr, you know, he's from France. They might pick up this other guy. I think he might be from some Eastern Europe. I don't know. I have to check. I checked the draft. Draft's today. The NBA draft is today. So that might be a good way to get into it. NFL. Wow. NFL. I'm a Steelers fan. Been a Steelers fan since I was a kid. Just got back into it a couple years ago. Steelers, that would be one team I would follow. Right? The Chiefs, I will also, that would be another team. They're very fun to watch. Patrick Mahomes is like unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes, he's like Messi of football. That's what I would say. He's like that. So he's incredibly fun to watch. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. He's kind of like Mohamed Salah of football, you know? He has all the stats and accolades, but, you know, people don't really give him that type of respect. Buffalo, they're very fun to watch. Josh Allen's like, he's like Robert Lewandowski. His numbers are just insane. He's just great to watch. And he's very, like, he likes to trash talk, too, so there's that sort of aspect to it as well. If you want a wild card, I would say Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, they're very up and down, but when they're on, they're very, very fun to watch. They're very high scoring. You want, like, a defensive team? I would say, like, a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Sure, their offensives are fun to watch, but defensively, they're insane. Like, their defensive front is absolutely insane. So, yeah. MLB, obviously the Blue Jays. Again, there's a lot more natural talent that's top of the league in the MLB. Shohei Ohtani, he's like the Babe Ruth of baseball now, so it's crazy. For sure. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a rundown indeed. Like, you really know your stuff.
Yeah, I'm a junkie, bro. I whenever I know something, I gotta know every aspect of it. You know? So if people ask me, I'm like, okay.
That's commitment.
It's commitment, yeah. Right? So I feel we do share some similarities in that aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I search these teams up and just like gonna keep in my tabs because it's this is kind of like I hate this kind of isolation that I know like people say that like American sports are like so like dumb, but oh my god, like this Europe supremacy. I don't really, like obviously there are some stupid things about America, of course. Like there's some aspects, quite a few aspects, but I think it's not sports. Like I think there's like also the fascination with basketball over there. I think it's. I mean, I've watched basketball and it's really not less exciting than soccer. So I think there's a lot to discover. Obviously.
So. Wow. Who you think is the GOAT in soccer, in your opinion?
Ooh, well, if I can be subjective, like obviously there's stats, and then there's how much someone is loved and how much like someone's a personality and what fans see in someone.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick one person, I mean, I would be really, really mainstream here, but I watched Messi a lot.
Yeah.
And it was really, really sad to see him go. I feel like it was a really, really, really great thing to watch. And I also watched I also watched Mo Salah a lot before. He cut his hair, and I feel like that kind of like powered him down for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't really. I don't know. He used to be so freaking like brilliant back then, and I watched him a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like these two people are like people I can like really admire.
Yeah.
And there are some other people who just like had like really like a few goals that were like really memorable, or like one goal. There are like a few Brazilian players that are like kind of like magicians, and
Yeah.
I could name like Richarlison.
Yeah.
He had like that. Oh my god! Like I feel like when it's like not really like a gold status, but when
Yeah.
there are like these really amazing like all-time goals, and
Yeah.
I had the fortune of seeing that one live, so
Yeah, that's cool.
that really stuck with me. So
Yeah.
I think that's really important when someone's like so memorable.
Wow.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to him for sure. Wow, that's cool. So obviously, you know, Liverpool, they've been talking to town. They won the title last season. Do you think they can go back to back next season? But they got Wirtz, they got Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. It seems like they might get another striker, which is, again, like, that would be scary. But like, do you think that might be in the cards?
I mean, it was like really such a smooth like ride for them. Like they've just been playing matches, like just so many matches right after, like even after they won, and it was like so cool to watch. I mean, they didn't really use Soboslai as much, and I still like really enjoyed their games. And I mean, if they just like keep up this kind of moment, because this is something I'm really afraid of with teams like this, that they, I don't know, win and then they like let loose. I'm like, oh, we don't need any more. Like, I really hope they keep up this kind of momentum, and like I think they have a really good how do you say it in English, because I have no idea, because I watch everything in Hungarian, but they have like a really good middle area, like those the players who play in the middle, like not the strikers, but like so they have like the really strong area where they can like strike from there as well, and that's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it is for sure.
There are players who are like, I enjoy this so much when there are like wild cards in a team. Like sometimes like Nunez is like so unreliable, and like he doesn't really know where the goalpost is, and like misses so often, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? But other times he's like brilliant, and like, so they keep missing. They need to improve on, I don't know what this is. Is this like nervousness or whatever? But they miss so many opportunities. But like, I guess that happens. But they may need to work on that, because that's like how they will eat a goal sooner or later. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great answer. You do know ball. I know that you do know ball, but
thanks.
You're welcome. The World Cup next year is coming up, and with more teams, 48 teams now. I'm like, again, like when I was younger, I was a big Spain fan. They won the World Cup on my birthday, 2010. So that was something I'm always gonna remember for the rest of my life. I mean, Hungary. I mean, look, Hungary is a very interesting team internationally. I don't know what their identity is. Are they defensive? Are they attacking? Like, they don't really have that much talent, but they had some really good players back in the day. I mean, some really good players back in the day. So again, it is a bit of a balance. But what would you do if Hungary somehow won the World Cup? Would you just drop an album or a song or something like that?
Oh my god, that is an incredible question, because it seems so far away, like out of reach. But I would probably celebrate it, like to go out of my way to celebrate, because usually I do not really celebrate anything we win, because it's such small things. Like for us, it's so special to even like get into, like from the qualifiers to like get in, because we had so many huge players back in the day, and I feel like in these, like, the quality has kind of like gone down, and we still have like star players like Soboslai. his career is like one of a kind. Like for us, this is like so special.
Yeah,
like this kind of player just like comes like once in a decade, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, our team is like, I feel like we celebrate too much.
Yeah.
When we win like a smaller victory.
Yeah.
Then we just like don't keep up that same kind of consistency.
Yeah.
And just like we celebrate winning against like Azerbaijan or like a country that's even smaller than us. Yeah, and then we lose against like Germany like 6-0 or something.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, you know, I do really feel how you feel. Like Canada had the same issue for a long time. We couldn't, like, at least you guys could beat small teams time to time. We couldn't beat we couldn't beat islands. Like, we couldn't beat Curacao, we couldn't beat Guatemala, El Salvador. Like, forget trying to beat the US or Mexico to qualify for the World Cup. Forget trying to beat any of the European teams, because we couldn't even play in the same field as those guys. But I think eventually our system did stumble upon, you know, a golden generation. There are a lot of great players that are playing for us right now. I mean, Jonathan David, he's a monster. I mean, 35 goals for us internationally already. He's only 25 years old. I mean, that's another guy I think Liverpool should look to, because he's perfect for them. Teja Buchanan, he may not be as good as Jonathan. When he's on, he's excellent. Alistair Johnson, he's captain of Celtic in Scotland. You know, Kone, Cornelius, and, you know, those zoos are really good. And we have a really good goalkeeper, Crepeau. You know, Schaffelberg just busting up and down the lanes. I mean, it's remarkable to watch. Like, I always say to people, like, don't take this for granted, man. But yeah, I do feel how you feel, you know. But, you know, then again, like, I always say, like, expectations are always a killer, right? So I would love to see Hungary, you know, play Canada in a sort of in a high stakes game. I always want to see that, you know, two teams that haven't been that successful in a while, you know, that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I think the most stunning thing about our team is that how unwaveringly loyal our fan base is. Like,
it is.
The fan base just like goes all out and like travels abroad.
Yeah.
Just like they're like really loud and bring a lot of posters always. Like even after they had like a really embarrassing loss.
Yeah.
It's just like always supporting.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of our greatest qualities.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't know. I think it should give them more strength. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Wow, that's a great answer. So I don't know how I didn't ask this question before the interview, but how do you deal with like criticism within, you know, your contemporaries, you know, in the schools and even outside? How do you deal with criticism? How do you combat that with your music?
So, I mean, when it comes to my production career, it's obscure enough not to have been criticized that much.
Yeah.
But I did get constructive criticism, and I mean that's just great.
Yeah.
But when it like the other criticism that I mentioned was from my own parents.
Yeah.
And I think that's like they couldn't have said more hurtful stuff than that.
Yeah.
I feel like the way I responded to that was how I'd respond to any hate I would get from my music.
Yeah.
Because I was just like not caring and still proceeding with it.
Yeah.
Still pursuing it.
Yeah.
I don't care if it doesn't appeal to one person.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy for constructive criticism always.
Yeah.
I don't have a fragile ego when it comes to music, because it's like literally everything I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I'm secure in what I know and what I do not know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a Hans Zimmer copy, and I'm nowhere near as qualified as him or like any other of these inspirations I've gotten. So I'm just like trying to like make my heart's content into something that resonates with as many people as possible. But I don't take offense if someone says like, why are you making such depressing stuff? Like, smile more. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I really rock. I really rock with that. You know. So what's the future of your career musically going to be looking like? Or do you have a plan, or are you just taking this step by step type of thing?
Well, my most important plan in my production career is to get better equipment.
Yes.
Because for now, all I have is basically my laptop and my electric piano.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a major stepping point when people start to hear like better quality, and I actually have more options, because I've been so envious of people who actually know how to use like actual synthesizers.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest inspirations is like a Czech artist who actually, oh my god, she actually played my music in a radio show.
That's cool.
Back then.
That's cool.
She's one of my idols, and she actually made my all-time favorite song ever.
Yeah.
So it was like a really amazing thing.
Yeah.
And she uses modular synths, and it's like this wall of synthesizers, and you can like tweak everything, just like have these brooding sounds to come out of it, and I just love that so much. And I'm just trying to get better and better at working with this in plugins, because plugins emulate this in a digital form, and I'm just trying to step up in like how complicated the interface is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dream. For when I'm more independent, I would like to invest on actual gear, actual physical gear.
Wow.
And that's actually play my first show ever. I don't know when that will be, but if I move to a city like Berlin, that would actually be possible, I guess.
Yeah. Who is the most famous person to say "I love your work" in regards to just music, you playing piano, or just your production side of things?
Well, I mean, when it comes to piano, I feel like it was, well, it's very difficult to say. It was Placido Domingo.
Yeah.
It's like possibly the most famous opera singer of all time, I feel like. But it was in the context of that talent show I won in Hungary.
That's cool.
So it was kind of like, you know, that he was in the jury and he had to say like some nice words. Wow. But I like to flex. I like to flex with that. Damn. So yeah, and there have been other like big musicians, like big pianists, in like several like competitions.
Yeah.
And like they are all like really big names. I feel like.
Yeah.
When it comes to my production career, I said who it was, like this Czech lady. Yeah. She's called Never Soul.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible. Like she's she not like the biggest artist. Like she's still very obscure, and I just like found her music like by complete accident.
Yeah.
But she has an actual radio show.
Wow.
That was just crazy to me that she played my music there. Yeah. And just like said such amazing things.
Yeah. Wow.
And I actually forgot to say before that in the future I would like, one of my biggest plans is to actually collaborate with a bigger artist.
Yeah.
That would be so freaking cool, because at this point I've only collaborated with people who are around the same popularity as me.
Yeah, okay. That's
cool.
It would be
so nice to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I know this woman probably won't do that because she doesn't really release music that often anyway. I don't know, she just like plays shows.
Yeah.
Ambient shows.
Yeah.
I love that for her. So she doesn't really release music that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to do this and love to score for a video game or like a movie, short film. That's also a huge plan.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I feel like that's it. I'm just like not thinking really big yet.
Yeah.
Because I just like need a big break before I start to think that far.
Wow. That's very, very interesting. Have you had a celebrity crush when you were younger? I don't know if you're with anybody right now or not. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Everyone had like a celebrity crush at some point, I guess, and I feel like this is kind of like unrelated to actual relationships because it's like completely platonic, I guess.
Yeah, platonic.
So, it shouldn't bother people. But yeah, I had like a wide range of crushes, like from men, from women.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of different, like also like Grimes, when she was still normal. I mean, normal is a strong word because she was always weird, but like in the nice sense. And when it comes to men, I don't know who exactly to name because I actually only paid attention to like looks. I had a crush on Adam Driver when he was like Kylo Ren. Because,
oh wow!
Cool.
Okay.
And Hayden Christensen as well because oh my god, I don't get the hate he received for being Anakin. He was the only good Anakin. Period. That's it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Wow, that's very very interesting. So so we're heading towards the end of the interview, and if you want to know what I look like, are you okay with that or?
Yeah, sure.
That's what I look like.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
I know.
I mean, I can turn on a camera as well if you want.
Sure. Go ahead.
But I'm just like in a hotel room right now.
Wow.
Hey.
Bro, you look great.
I'm just having this Cure shirt right now.
Yeah.
So,
you look great. Great. Wow, that's crazy.
Thanks.
Wow. That's cool. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna do a little Q&A thing. So there's this hip hop podcast I'm inspired by where they do this like they pick like two artists or two franchises, just two people in general. You have to pick either or, right? But the difference is there's no drinks. You can't say both. You can't say neither. Okay. So and you want to give a reason why for your choice or a story about it. You're cool with you can do that. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, sure. If I even know the artist, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Hans Zimmer or Mozart?
Oh yeah. So like this. Oh. Wow. All my respect for Hans Zimmer, but you just cannot ignore the impact that Mozart had on music in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just shared a really fun fact about Mozart here that a lot of people don't seem to recognize.
Yeah.
That I think his music is the most difficult to play actually, like on a very high level. And that's because it sounds simple.
Yeah.
But that's exactly why it's difficult because it really brings out technical difficulties when you play it, like when you some of your technique is not balanced enough, and you cannot achieve that really clean sound.
Yeah.
Then that's a mistake. So I really appreciate his music a lot, as much as Hans Zimmer means to me. Like classical composers just like have such an unfathomable impact on music as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Wow. Okay. Mission Impossible or Star Wars?
Oh my god. Yeah, I might be biased here. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very biased here. So obviously I'm gonna choose Star Wars.
Okay.
I'm an extremely big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was like very little, I've been fascinated with it to this day as well. So
Yeah.
I love the guy who by the way, I keep forgetting his name because he has like a really basic name, and I don't know, like basic names are so easy to forget. But the guy who plays the main character, and he's also been in the Edge of Tomorrow.
Tom Cruise?
Which is like Tom Cruise, yeah. He's like that movie is one of my favorites. Like that's one of my comfort movies. Like Edge of Tomorrow, I love watching it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate how good of an actor he is.
Yeah.
And but I feel like Star Wars as a franchise is a little bit more complex and like so like deeper than Mission Impossible. I feel like that's just my opinion.
Okay, that's a fair opinion to have. Marvel or DC?
Ooh, that's. I feel like. Okay, so here's the thing. I've seen a couple of Marvel movies here and there. Like I've seen quite a few Spider-Man movies. I've seen like Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I haven't seen like the latest like Avengers stuff because it's like I don't know. I haven't been really keeping track.
Yeah.
Like after like Infinity War, like I don't even know. I've seen like some standalone movies here and there.
Yeah.
When it comes to DC, I know that like the quality of their movies like is not that good. I've been meaning to watch like the newest Batman movie like since forever.
Yeah, you have to watch.
Because I've heard like great things about it.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that decides this for me is the movie that's like the most unconventional when compared to the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
It's Joker.
Okay.
Because that's like obviously like a one of a kind thing in amongst superhero movies in general. So that's just like a whole other level for me. And for that reason alone, I'm gonna choose DC.
Okay, great answer. Tupac or DMX?
Oh, well, this is gonna be funny because I know Tupac because obviously he's an icon, and I know a little bit about his background and why he's so famous, and I do not know who the other artist is. So that's why I'm gonna choose him.
Alright. Okay.
I mean, I see a lot of people wearing shirts of him. I just had to look into him and why people like him so much. And I love these kind of cultural icons so much. Like these people who, especially some rappers who seem so freaking sympathetic and I don't know, done a lot for culture as a whole. Like I don't know the other person, but they may be just as significant. I don't know. But I'm going to go with the guy I know.
Yeah, okay. Kendrick Lamar or Kanye West?
Well, Kanye West, I only really know, like, I think back then he was, like, really actually good, because I heard some of his earlier stuff, especially when he collabed with Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I like that rap in like E.T., I think there was a song. And
E.T.?
He actually used to be... Yeah, E.T.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't really hear his solo stuff. Like, then again, I'm not really big into rap and hip-hop, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, ever since then, I've only heard about his controversies.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Lamar, I have only good stuff related to him. I mean, he probably had controversies as well, but I didn't really hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he collabed with Taylor Swift back then. I was a fan of Taylor Swift when I was like yeah, when I was like 12, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does have a viral song right now, I think.
Yeah.
That I don't know what the, like, it's using some like Minecraft edits, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So I like that, and I hear his music quite more often than Kanye West. So I'm gonna go with Kendrick. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Pharrell or Timbaland?
Again, sorry.
Pharrell or Timbaland?
I'm gonna say that I don't know either of these artists. Sorry.
Okay. Mohamed Salah or Thierry Henry?
Oh, who's the other one? Sorry.
Thierry Henry. He was like Arsenal icon, gold Arsenal player, one of the greatest players ever. You know, very. I think you should know you should know who he is. I think.
Yeah, this is kind of embarrassing. I don't really know all the players, you know. I just like watch the teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is something. But yeah, I would even if I knew him. Like Arsenal is like I sometimes see it. It's like when I watch, like, I don't know, Inter or these kind of like more like, in my eyes, like smaller teams. I don't know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Salah, I think his fame and his significance is like unbeatable, and like Liverpool's significance is like so much bigger. I mean, so even though I don't know that guy, I would go with Salah either way.
Okay.
Because I also described him as one of the GOATs. So yeah, it's just my personal significance.
It's all cool. It's all cool. Okay. All right. Soboslai or Declan Rice?
Oh, this is difficult because I actually developed like a big liking to Declan Rice, because I think it was like he was on fire like a while ago. He's like he like scored like quite a few goals in like one match, and I was like, oh my god, that's like skill. And I just like searched him up and like, I don't know, started like following him, and but it's just that's a bias here. I mean, I don't care about nationalities. Like, it's not just because, oh my god, he's Hungarian. But I don't know. He's when he gets a chance to shine, he can like he can like go like, he could be the GOAT in like 20 years, or like not 20 years. Oh my god, that's too late. But like 10 years, maybe. Maybe like if he actually gets the time to shine, because for now it's kind of being suppressed in Liverpool, like. But maybe that's like a wise choice to not always have him play, and like because he gets injured pretty easily, unfortunately. So,
Interesting.
I think I'm gonna go with him because I just like know him better.
All right.
At this point.
Okay. Okay. Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan?
Nice question. Oh my god. Well, my likings are like, when it comes to like people like this, are largely defined by what my dad used to watch on the television back then. Like, he used to watch a lot of like Bruce Willis, and like a lot of you know, those old like Bud Spencer type of movies. And here's the thing, it's really sad, but he's pretty racist. He didn't really watch Jackie Chan because like that, so he only watched the people I mentioned before. So that's why I'm not really familiar with Jackie Chan, but I obviously like, it's inescapable. Like, I've seen videos of him, I've seen like clips, and I respect what he's done for movie culture. And just like these other famous like martial artists. Like Bruce Lee. So yeah, I really, really respect that. And Tom Cruise, I feel like I'm still gonna go with him because of Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think he's just genuinely such a great actor.
Yeah.
Aside of being a great martial artist. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of Jackie Chan to actually like know how good of an actor he is.
Yeah.
I just like seeing stunts of him, like memes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's when he says like cheese instead of freeze. I saw that one.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah.
Yeah,
He's just really funny, and I feel like when it comes to the comedic aspect, he may have an edge over Tom Cruise. But yeah, Tom Cruise is just like too cool.
Yeah, interesting answer. Christopher Nolan or Stanley Kubrick?
Oh, well, I'm biased again because Nolan created my all-time favorite films, and not just Interstellar, but regardless of my like views on war and like how like I don't know, the Dunkirk is not a very anti-war movie in my opinion, but the way he directed that was just stunning. So I'm very big on like visuals, and when Nolan and Hans Zimmer come together, that's just like unbeatable.
Yeah, it is unbeatable. You're
right.
Like
such good combo.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go. And I love when a movie just like makes my brain like all discombobulated. Like Nolan does that. Always this time thing, time travel, and like always some kind of like twisted plot. And I love that so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Even over like action scenes, like always action. I love mind bending stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Definitely with you on that. Okay. Robert Lewandowski or Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like I'm too young to actually have seen Zlatan in actual like because I feel like I see Lewandowski a lot more because in Barcelona and even before that, I just like saw him a lot more.
Yeah.
And obviously I know both of their names, obviously. And I've actually been searching up Zlatan in the last days because I came across like an ad he did, and he was like doing yoga, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, I love when like players like this like have these really cool interests and hobbies, and it was like really cool. I don't really know that much about Lewandowski aside of the fact that he's the greatest pride of Poland ever. So, yeah, I mean, I know about his the sheer number of goals he's gotten in his career. That's like, and I mean, it's just nice to watch. I haven't really been following Barcelona that much lately.
Yeah.
Ever since they got rid of all their like biggest players, like it's like a youth team now.
Yeah.
He's like the only older player there, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it may take quite like a few more years for them to like develop into like more legendary status again.
Yeah.
It's like they're developing all over again. But I might still go with Lewandowski just because I know him better.
Okay. Harry Kane or Alan Shearer?
Who's the other one? Sorry.
Alan Shearer. He's like the top scorer in Premier League history.
Oh man. Oh wow, this is embarrassing. So I don't know about that. I don't really search up like these like behind infos about like these leagues or anything. I just watch the games, dude.
Yeah.
All the info I get from there.
Okay.
So I don't really know much about behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
So I might not be able to make like a good decision here.
All right. Lana Del Rey or Billie Eilish?
And now that's a good question. Okay, that's a good question. All right. So I used to listen to Billie Eilish, as I said, like when I was like 13 or I don't know.
Yeah.
And I liked her music a lot because like, yeah, it was mostly because of the instrumental.
Yeah.
Because I know her brother is like the one who produces and it's like really creative.
Yeah.
I like that. And just like discovered her in like 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like Lovely, I think that was the song.
Yeah.
And it was just so hauntingly beautiful. And I was looking for that kind of sound in pop music. Like my music taste was like non-existent at that point because I was so young. But like I still love this kind of sound.
Yeah.
That really spoke to me. And when it comes to Lana Del Rey, I also discovered her when I was like really young.
Yeah.
It was like with that really, really famous song from The Great Gatsby. Obviously.
Yeah, Young and Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a similar experience, like this kind of like haunting voice and instrument. Like, like with her, it was more of her voice than the instrumental. I learned to appreciate the instrumental later a lot more.
Yeah.
So I love this. Like they're obviously like really different in terms of production and stuff.
Yeah.
And these days, I mean, I listen to Lana Del Rey a lot because her songs are in my dark pop songs playlist, and like Brooklyn Baby and like
that's a great song.
Chemtrails or the Country Club. That's
a good album.
Really, yeah, and I feel like she's not just like a one-hit wonder. Like she's so many great songs that I still haven't discovered enough. And I feel like her music is kind of like more for like, I don't know, an older audience.
Yeah.
It's while Billie just like capitalizes on this teenage audience.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, but like, I mean, she's going through a transformation right now, but I think it's still like the teenage audience, and I feel like people who listen to Lana Del Rey and they like interpret her music the wrong way. That really bugs me.
Yeah.
And, like the TikTokification of her music also really bugs me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so much more depth behind these songs than just like aesthetic, like rich girl soundtrack. Oh my god, I'm so aesthetic and mysterious. There's so much more behind that, and I just love finding more and more songs I like from her. So I'm gonna go with her.
You know Lana?
Yeah, Lana. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good answer. All right. Beyonce or Prince?
Ooh. Well, in this case, it's really strange because, I mean, not strange because, I don't listen to much pop music, but obviously I know both of them, because who doesn't? And I just like saw a few clips of like Beyonce. And like obviously heard some of her songs, and in this case it's really unlucky that like I'm like Prince is obviously much earlier, and for that reason I feel like that music has been also like isolated from me. Unless I want to actively get into it, I won't hear it anywhere for some reason, unless it like goes viral. So I'm not really familiar with his music, only just the fact that I heard that name. So that's that. So just for this reason alone, I'm just like more familiar with Beyonce. And I mean, she probably also had those controversies, but like, I mean, if you only cared about controversies, then you couldn't listen to big artists at all. I mean,
so, good answer.
I like her voice. I like her voice. So I mean, she has a great vocal technique. I really enjoy it. And from the clips I saw, she has a great personality as well. Part. So I'm gonna go with her.
Okay. Michael Jackson or Frank Sinatra?
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna be biased for a different reason here because I know both of them quite well, but I feel more closer to Michael's style than Frank Sinatra's style because I like all genres of music to some extent, but when it comes to jazz, I don't listen to much jazz or like that kind of style.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a lot of that. It's just like some kind of personal preference because when I hear it, I like hearing it. So
yeah,
I like his voice and the impact he had, obviously.
Yeah.
Inspirations and stuff.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson is just like, whenever I hear one of his songs, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like such a great track to listen to, and like watching him is just so hypnoptizing as well. He was like really one of a kind, I feel like. And I heard some bad things about Frank Sinatra as well. Maybe like, I don't know, did he really fight for his success? I don't know, but like Michael had such a hard life, so that's like really something I appreciate a lot as well. Like he was just like very tragic, obviously, so I'm gonna go with him.
Alright. Okay, interesting answer. Ooh. Alright. Okay. Alright. Grimes or Crystal Castles?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna tell you a bit about how big of a Grimes fan I was back then. I mean, it was like one of the defining eras of my life, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she was my whole personality, and I was pretty toxic back then. Like, I was like obsessed with her, and I even like used to like threaten people who didn't like her and like liked another artist who was like, I don't know, like her rival or something.
Yeah.
Like when she had the beef with Poppy.
Oh yes.
And I was like actively slandering Poppy because I was like so like I just like, and I developed from that kind of mindset. Obviously, recognized just how toxic that was, especially when I started to learn about how Grimes has been changing and what things she dabbles in and stuff like that. And I was like, yikes, I cannot protect her anymore. I need to be more informed. I need to be more informed of who I'm idolizing. I mean, when I was a fan of her back then, she wasn't this problematic, but ever since she started dating Elon Musk, then things just started to go downhill. Yeah. So but I used to have a fan account of her, like, and it actually got like 800 followers on Instagram. That was a big thing for me, at least. And I was a really devoted fan, and she defined my music taste back then. Through her, I discovered Crystal Castles as well. So I feel like she was like a catalyst of my development when it comes to like music taste and also artistry. And I still listen to her songs because I just want to separate it from who she is as a person. And I mean, her newer stuff doesn't really resonate with me anymore because it just sounds like unoriginal. Yeah. Just like, to me, just like generic DJ music. To this point, at this point, so. Yeah, but her older stuff, oh my God, it's just absolute genius, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. The Weeknd or Frank Ocean?
Ooh, I have a definitive answer here, and I know both of them, obviously, but I'm a sucker for the sound. That's like this retro sound, but also like cinematic and like with a really atmospheric voice, like this. So The Weeknd is just like, he has his own genre, and I feel like everyone who tries to do the same is just like kind of like riding on his wave.
Yeah.
Because he just like defined this kind of like genre.
Yeah.
I feel like quite a long time ago, and I feel like it's just too iconic.
Yeah. Okay.
This, and not just with. I mean, I could have a stroke if I heard like quite a few like viral songs one more time.
Yeah.
But if I hear like Blinding Lights, I never get sick of it. Like it's still good. Like it's like one of those songs that you could never like get tired of. At least when it comes to me.
Okay.
So, but then again, I'm just like very biased when it comes to like synth music and like retro music. So that's that.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if you watch these shows, but Stranger Things or Game of Thrones?
I know enough about them to decide.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen them in their entirety, only just like some parts, and I know some aspects of it. I feel like Game of Thrones is like more closer to my style and my liking.
Yeah.
Stranger Things has a lot of things to speak for itself, because I love the soundtrack. I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I love the horror aspect of it. I enjoy horror a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of like throws me off is well, I may be too old for it, but like this kind of like teenage drama thing. I don't know, like with these teenage actors, and I feel like it's not geared for me, at least. I feel like it's geared for like teenage girls, and like I don't know, it's that kind of audience, you know.
Okay.
With like that character named Eddie, it's always it was also like, it's maybe not geared for me. So I feel like Game of Thrones is something I can actually get into and like watch, and also because I heard about how good the House of Dragons was, I think. Yeah. And like how it was like similar to Andor in terms of like dialogue, quality, and that's something I really value. Yeah. But I haven't got into it because of just how big of a show it is, because it's like so huge. Yeah. So many episodes. Yeah. But I think it's worth getting into.
Okay. Interesting. Megan Fox or Millie Bobby Brown?
Ooh, well, oh my God, you're not gonna like my answer here.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a thing where I'm not really that big of a fan of either of them, just because I'm not like, I don't dabble in the films that they star in, so I haven't really seen. But I know Megan Fox like from I think Jennifer's Body and like Transformers.
Yeah.
Jennifer's Body is something I really enjoyed, so that was like that was really, really, really cool.
Okay.
Millie Bobby Brown is I think someone very different. I think she did Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, she's like the main person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, maybe I could be giving that show a chance just because of that. I don't know why I didn't recognize, but yeah. I mean, she seems really sympathetic, so I mean, for me, actors play obviously a huge role when it comes to series. Yeah. So if there's someone I find sympathetic, then I could very well get into that movie. Yeah. Not movie, like show. Sorry. Yeah. So Megan Fox, just because I'm a bit biased here. Okay. Just because I'm more familiar and I haven't seen much of Millie Bobby Brown as like in shows and movies. Okay. So I might need to do a bit of catching up. On that. So I'm not gonna say Megan Fox because I like her more. I just like know her more.
Okay. That's that. Okay. Haley Steinfeld or Amy Adams?
Oh my God. Amy Adams is like the girl who was, oh my God, she was the main character of one of my favorite movies of all time.
Enchanted?
Arrival.
Oh.
Arrival.
Arrival, yeah.
It was that sci-fi movie with that huge black egg spaceship.
Yeah.
You know, the movie was absolutely stunning, dude. And oh my God, that was just like incredibly beautiful. The soundtrack, her acting was immaculate. Like, I loved it so much. Like,
the
premise of that movie, it's itself like this concept of alien linguistics and how linguistics, how much it means and how we could connect with an alien species with language and how much language truly means.
Yeah,
I think she gave a really compelling performance there.
Yeah,
and that's just what makes me really like committed to this answer, because I don't really know Hailey Steinfeld. Obviously I've heard of her.
Yeah.
Who hasn't? But like I haven't really seen any of her movies.
Yeah.
So
this
is just another case of not being familiar enough. But Amy Adams is just someone I can stand behind.
Okay.
That was a really solid performance there.
Yeah. Interesting answer. Okay. Christian Bale or Gary Oldman?
Ooh, Christian Bale. Oh my God, this is something I actually have to think about. Like Christian Bale, I think I only know him from American Psycho and like
Batman.
I think Batman.
Yeah.
I think Batman. Yeah. I think it's pretty great. I think it's pretty iconic. Wait, who was the other guy?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. Oh yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think where I saw him, but I think he's like obviously like a lot older. So maybe this is another case of like that being like more further away from me. I'm just too young.
Yeah.
Like I think he was in Fifth Element or something.
I don't know. He was on. I think he was in Leon the Professional. He was Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, those like in that that French director.
Yeah,
probably
Besson,
liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Besson. Yeah. So this is a difficult question because I like both of them, but I feel like I'm actually more familiar with Gary Oldman for this reason because I saw him a lot more.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, when I thought about it, like initially I thought that I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
I liked The Fifth Element a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And I mean, Christian Bale, I didn't really see the Batman movies.
Okay.
When I think about it, I just know about them.
Okay.
Like that's something that's missing.
Yeah.
I only saw like American Psycho, and I know he doesn't like the character he played. So
yeah,
that's that.
Okay.
I feel like Gary Oldman is my answer.
Okay. Interesting answer. Okay. All right. Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese?
Who's the second? Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry. Is there a problem with the call or?
No. Just
I don't.
No, there's no problem. It's just silence and stuff. But who do you choose?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear the second guy's name.
Oh, okay.
Just that.
All right. So okay, Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese?
Well, I still don't know the other guy.
Alright.
So I may not be able to give a good answer here as well.
Alright, that's fine. Was. All right. Daft Punk or Aphex Twin?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's really funny how I feel like I'm a lot more well versed in musical questions, but yeah, that's not a surprise, I guess. So I'm a lot more familiar with Aphex Twin because that kind of music is like a bit more close to me.
Yeah.
But Daft Punk is just like I feel like just like too unique, and I feel like ever since I think they stopped making music.
Yeah, they
right?
broke up.
Like,
they broke up a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I know how much of an impact it was, and we haven't really been hearing stuff like that ever since.
Yeah,
which is strange because they should have other people should have picked that up. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to like their style is just so distinctive that if other people start to get inspired by it, that it's just gonna be like straight up ripping them off because just like it's just such a signature style.
Yeah.
And I mean they were like really great performers.
Yeah.
Great actors as well.
Yeah.
Like, I saw how they performed, and it was like such a great vibe. Even though their music is just like not something I normally would listen to, I mean it's really really fun whenever I hear it. Aphex Twin is another case because I think he's even more experimental. Obviously, like he has a viral song at the moment that I really like. It's just like that sounds so nostalgic and so nice, so cool. I mean, and just for that reason alone, because it just speaks to my soul a bit more, and that's why I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. All right. Flume or Catronata?
Again, please.
Flume or Catronata?
I'm just trying to think if I even know Flume. I think I just don't really know these genres that well because I just searched the first guy up, and when it comes to like this like he's a DJ, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just like not very familiar with this kind of genre. So yeah, I cannot really give an answer to that. I'm not very well versed in that kind of music.
All right. Arca or sk4di?
Ooh, no, that's the question for me. Yeah. All right. All right. So, sk4di, I've been listening to him a lot, especially his latest album. It was so great, and I added it.
I know, man. Me too.
It just sounds like. Sorry, what?
I know, bro. I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Like this industrial, like this really dark and gritty, and like with this, it sounds gothic, but like it's not actual goth music, but it sounds like that.
Yeah.
It's obviously inspired by that style of music, and we're just like so bewildered to hear something like this from him. I mean, I know his older stuff is also like that, like Gamma. I think that was the name of the one with the golden disc. A lot of big songs from there.
Elf, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, there was yeah. So I always liked his style. It was always really cool. It has this experimental sounds and solid beats. I always liked it. It's always like such a great thing. I love his random creative effects, samples he uses. I just love it a lot.
Yeah.
When it comes to Arca, well, I'm only familiar with them through Grimes.
Yeah.
Because I think like they used to have similar music at least.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with what they do at the moment.
Yeah.
I think I heard something here and there, but Gestapo style is just like too important to me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. Great answer. Nirvana or Sushi and the Banshees?
That's gonna be like a very solid answer for me. I feel like Nirvana is. I mean, I like Kurt Cobain, of course. Like, he was really, really sympathetic and cool. But Susie and Banshees is just so close to my heart. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god! Like, I mean, she is like the queen of goth music.
Yeah,
like,
she is.
And just like such a pioneer.
Yeah.
For the coming like decades of goth music.
Yeah.
Like punk music also, and post punk.
Yeah.
Just like such a defining style.
Yeah.
And her voice is just so distinctive.
Yeah.
And I love when they took like more experimental routes and not just like punk music. And their covers, oh my god, might be the best covers actually I've ever heard.
Yeah.
With that whole cover album, like I think it was like Through the Looking Glass, I think.
Yeah.
So that was like an entire album of covers, and I loved them more than the original songs.
Yeah.
The way they use her voice and the instrumental.
Yeah.
So genius.
It is.
And I mean, she's also a fashion icon, obviously. So I love that so much.
Yeah, great answer. All right, Lord or Maggie Star?
Oh man, Lord is. I mean, someone I'm very conflicted with because I used to like some of her stuff like a lot because I like her voice.
Yeah.
But then I saw like some of her songs like was really really cool, but I think one was in Hunger Games, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously Solar Power. I heard some songs from there as well, and I know quite a few. But then I started like I saw some videos where she was like singing pretty terribly at a live concert, and I was like, oh damn. Like if that's real, then I mean I know Grimes is not the best vocalist when it comes to live shows, but there's something like she never was like really like unbearable to listen to.
Yeah.
And I mean I know that it's not like a really really like a big deal breaker when artists can sing just as well live as they do in the studio version. Of course that's gonna be like tweaked. Like to me, I don't know, and the way she's been kind of like acting as well lately, maybe just like not very sympathetic to me as well.
Okay.
I mean, I've been hearing like advertisements for a newest album, and maybe I'll listen to it, but like I don't know. It was also something I used to dabble in a long time ago, but not anymore.
Okay.
So, well, I'm still gonna go with her because I don't really know the other artists.
All right. Okay. It's interesting. Let's think.
Are we nearing like 3 hours now?
Huh? We're almost there.
Like
we're almost done. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
The Last of Us or GTA? I'm talking about video games specifically.
Oh yeah. Well, this is interesting because Last of Us I haven't played video game, but I've obviously seen a lot of it. Obviously.
Yeah.
not just because of the actual series, but it's like, I mean, I've seen a lot about it, and actually one of my teachers said to me that I remind him of Ellie.
Wow, that's
for
cool.
some reason.
That's cool.
That was a great thing, yeah. But GTA, I mean, I just saw a lot of footage from that game. Not just the bugs. The bugs are hilarious on their own, but like, it just seemed like such a nice parody of American society, I feel like.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of great quotes from there.
Yeah.
And just like how big of an impact it had, like just how many people love it.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just like not just like a game like PUBG where you just like drive around and like shoot stuff. And, I don't know. It has an actual like double meaning, and I like that. That's really smart. So I mean, I'm not really familiar with Last of Us actually beyond the fact that I know Ellie and I know it's a zombie story.
Yeah.
So other than that, I just really didn't get into it that much. So I'm gonna go with GTA.
Okay. Need for Speed or Forza?
Oh boy, yeah. I also have a definite answer here because I used to play a lot of Forza.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot.
Okay.
Because I had an Xbox at home.
Yeah.
And I think it was 5 I played with.
Yeah, Forza. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved customizing my cars.
Yeah.
I loved just speeding, and I loved collecting the Warthog.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was really amazing to.
Yeah.
It was really smooth as well. Yeah. I mean, I loved exploring roads, and just it was so relaxing.
Yeah, it was.
And the experience of collecting cars, I think it was really well established to the game itself. Yeah. Except for the fact that it required a Game Pass, and unfortunately, ever since I don't pay for Game Pass, I cannot play it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go with Forza because I just know it better.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Wow. Second last question. Hamburgers or pizza?
Oh, well, this is also interesting because we have a major cultural difference here. I think it's pretty obvious that hamburgers have a much bigger culture in the Americas than here, and pizza has a lot bigger culture here. Obviously, I mean, pizza, like, both are very famous in all the continents, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, but I feel like hamburgers are only represented through fast food restaurants here.
Yeah.
Like when I go to McDonald's, and like that's like, I don't know, like once every 3 months or something, like really rarely.
Yeah.
I love cheeseburgers. I love Big Macs. I love when I get the chance to have some. I like it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, every Thursday we make homemade pizza with the family.
Yeah.
And we have pizza. That's just like such a great experience. And I don't think anything can be that. I mean, if we start making homemade hamburgers, then maybe I would reconsider it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homemade pizza, just such a great thing. Yeah.
All right. Last question. Cookies or cupcakes?
Oh dear. I mean, it depends on what kind of cookies. I mean, if chocolate chip cookies, then oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But cupcakes that my mom makes are unbeatable to me. Because I mean, if she made more cookies, then maybe that would be unbeatable. But she makes a lot of cupcakes because they're, I guess, easier to make.
Yeah.
And like a lot of different types of cupcakes. One with chocolate and bananas, and one with like carrots, zucchini, or and like raisins.
Yeah.
So many different types of cupcakes. So I'm more well versed, but obviously I like both. I have a sweet tooth. I like both, but yeah, I'm gonna go with cupcakes.
All right. Okay, I have a sweet tooth too. Bonus question. Bonus question. Okay. Wow. How can I approach this bonus question? Shampoo or hair conditioner?
Oh my god. Well, I think my answer is pretty straightforward here.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time with my hair.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to contain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like somewhere between wavy and curly, and I don't know how the hell it works, but like, I don't know where I would be without hair conditioner, so that works wonders.
Okay. Double bonus question. Okay. Train or subway? Like transportation.
Ooh. Well, we do have a subway here that's like controlled by a robot, so it doesn't have a driver.
Oh my gosh.
It's like really special.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I don't know what was the reason for it, but like, yeah, we do. Okay. We do have it, and it has like really amazing stations as well.
Yeah.
And the other one was also recently renovated, and we also have a subway line that's like it was one of the first in Europe.
Yeah.
So like it's really old, and they still kept it in its original form.
Yeah.
I feel like our subways are really great, but our trains not so much.
Yeah.
They are still from like the communist era.
Yeah.
It's like every train is like 50 years old.
Oh damn.
I don't know why. We do have newer ones, and they're good, but I mean the management itself is just terrible. Like so many, like they're so late, and air conditioning doesn't work, and stuff like that. So I mean I think it's very straightforward. At least as someone who really knows. Yeah. How it is in Hungary. So subways.
Okay. That's it. What an honor to interview someone like you. I feel like we're kind of similar, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I didn't even feel the time pass by. I just only like noticed how much we've been talking. It was really cool.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate you coming on. And I'm really rooting for you, on all aspects of it. It's nice to see, I always root for the underdog, as always. Because those to me are like the best type of success stories that people can learn from and, copy and all that. So yeah, if you're dealing with anything or you're feeling down, just hit me up, bro, and I'll try to figure something out, okay?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. I enjoyed this really much.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it. That's the interview. That's another episode of Renegade Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. And this is the same way I enjoyed putting this one together.